How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto. We are off to a pretty amazing start in 2020. Of course, Bitcoin now clocking in at 9,325. I'm making this video according to CoinMarketCap. Of course, by the time you're watching this content, that's probably going to be subject to change. However, I'd really like to talk about, be using some of these articles as a jumping off point. However, I wanted to comment on the bullish stance that we've been seeing taken by a lot of these different analysts who have been conducting sort of quote unquote technical analysis. And I'd really, first of all, like to criticize technical analysis on YouTube because a lot of these different analysts don't know their ass from their elbow. I oftentimes shy away from the technical analysis on these main sort of videos. If you're interested in my TA, really watch the live streams because that's where it goes down. Most of the time I like to stick to the facts. I usually focus on different articles and stuff, just jumping off because it's more reliable. Anyway, historical data shows Bitcoin's low for 2020 is already in at 6,800 according to this news BTC. So of course markets are cyclical, and history repeats itself. And although Bitcoin is very difficult, a different kind of asset, and the crypto market is anything but atypical, the same rules apply according to historical data. Bitcoin neither sets its high for the year or low for the year in January each year, suggests that 6,800 was the bottom, and soon we may never see Bitcoin price below 5 digits ever again. This is a pretty bullish article, I would say. Words are pretty bold if you do ask, and do ask me. Reoccurring Bitcoin cycle suggests either low or high is in for the year. Financial analysts all agree that markets are cyclical and often exhibit similarities across different points in time. It's exactly why it is not uncommon for crypto analysts to look at past Bitcoin bear and bull cycles to attempt to glean sort of a perspective on, it is interesting. It's not quite clear that what is the driving force behind these patterns. However, 10 BTC. It is interesting to see. And of course, there's even exists a small subset of traders over the years that believe the gravitation push and pull of the planet and their exact coordinates. Blah blah blah. Some star bullshit. But anyway, it is interesting. And of course, if this is true, it sort of speaks for itself. This article, Crypto Daily, talks about is this a good time to be on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is holding strong above 9K levels, but a lot of traders that were previously bearish are now wondering what is going on. Some are doubting themselves and asking if the bulls had been right all along and they made a mistake. Well, we have been talking about the potential bull trap in Bitcoin for a long time in these analytical videos. The fact that so many people are buying into the halving bull run narrative gives us more reason to think that the market makers and the whales would end up setting a trap to lure such traders in. I'm inclined to believe such a stance. If you're interested, definitely go and make sure that you guys check out that article right there. And it is interesting to see. I would put myself in the class of thinking that we'll probably go test back around the 9K level, and I'm going to go as far as to say that a $7,000 Bitcoin is not out of the question yet. I don't think we're quite out of the woods according to my analysis. And if you do in fact ask me, that's how I would consider things to go. But still, at the same time, that does not mean that I'm losing any faith whatsoever in crypto at all. New region in Switzerland starts accepting Bitcoin as tax. That's pretty interesting as well. More along the lines of mass adoption. Very closely, we'll be following those sort of ideas. In that sort of analysis further as we go along this year. This one right here is Bitcoin ready to shoot past 10,000. Bitcoin has shown some signs of strength lately, and we have seen the price climb above 9K the past few days. This is not surprising, because for weeks now we have been talking about the potential bull trap before the next major downtrend. The 1 hour chart shows that the price is quite likely to end up testing 10K before it starts to decline. To the majority of the market, this is the beginning of a new bullish cycle. I am inclined to believe that this is one of the biggest bull traps in years. And you have to remember, towards the later parts of 2019, we did see the price shoot up to towards the end of 2019, we saw the price just go up to 10K, and over the course of like 48 hours, go right back into its bear resurgence, which is to take into consideration. I've never really have faith in the market manipulators are always going to be ready to get that easy money. And of course, remember, it is the year of the rat, which we really need to take seriously. I know it is sort of a meme at this point, but still, notwithstanding, I would be inclined to mention the Corona, the looming Corona bottle that's getting ready to be dumped all over Asia and possibly spread across the world. So I mean, we gotta keep stuff like that in consideration and really look at the different events. I mean, I think there was a lot of hype over the WW3 fear and all that stuff, which of course, it is interesting, but I think a lot of stuff is going to come crashing down based on the politics of 2020. This will really be a determining year whether we get that. This is sort of the idea that I'm running off of here. People will turn to Bitcoin when inflation starts. I think that this is interesting. Obviously inflation is always going on, but I think obviously what it's aiming towards is when inflation is more prevalent. This is obvious that something like this would happen. Especially with what we see with people using Dash in Venezuela. Many important aspects to look at there. And of course, human nature is what it is. And of course, so earlier in January, the Bank of England revealed that central banks of the United Kingdom, European Union, Japan, Sweden, Canada, and Switzerland are all teaming up with the banks of international settlements for joint research on central bank digital currencies. These CBDCs are the talk of the town in the crypto world right now, with a lot of controversy behind, being at the center of it. So it is interesting. We will see, of course, more adoption along the way continues to happen. And, I just like, if we do in fact see Bitcoin being able to have that stability at 10K, I think that the sky's the limit for the altcoins as well. We already see, Zcoin up 35. It's all about what horse you're willing to back. But at the same time, we do see, Bitcoin dominance at 66%. And oftentimes when Bitcoin is performing well, the news gets bullish. These different things do follow suit. So that's currently what I'm thinking about when I'm looking at a lot of these different variables. So for those of you who are asking me what my perspective is currently, that's my update. Of course, remember, I'm not your dad. I'm not your financial advisor. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. As always, make sure that you guys do your own research. So is Chinese market recession favoring the Bitcoin bull rally? This is interesting as well. Sort of does play into that international theme of what we were talking about. And of course, in the past weeks, the Chinese local market has experienced a sharp nosedive. However, in the crypto space, especially for Bitcoin, it has enjoyed an increase in its trading price, therefore resulting in its critical bull rally. Observing the China A50 index, it has been in decline, and with China being a global economic hub, a lot of investors worldwide will be looking at its performance. So that is interesting. As we know, China is sort of aiming down the sights to see if they could get a Bitcoin, competitor out there, which, I think that they probably are really expecting to get going by, the end of 2020, which should be interesting. But yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let us know what country you're watching from. Always interesting to see the comments down below, and any comments welcome. Family friendly though. All right, everybody, have a good one.